to run or face the pain. Hold on to love. Take a chance on life, says the mother who gave me my name. Her voice from the ether calls, daughter, don't look back, you'll never fall. I held your little soul in my hands for so long, thinking only heaven knows how life will write your song. Be loud, be heard, be proud, she said. If you want it, you've got it. I danced in the hurricane with the God who has no name. I had to run or face the pain. Hold on to love and learn to trust again. Like a tear in a broken frame, a wild heart you'll never take. One constant law remains: love your life, dance again. My father lives in my dreams, saying all is not what it seems. You are what you believe. Be the person you want to be, without a shadow of a doubt. Live your life out loud. Be the light within the crowd. Be loud, be heard, be proud. And who knows right from wrong, he said. If you want it, you got it. I danced in the hurricane with the God who has no name. I had to run or face the pain. Hold on to love and learn to trust again. Like a tear in a broken frame, a wild heart you'll never take. One constant law remains: love your life, dance again. Don't write my rules.
Her hair, the colour of rainbows.
Don't look back, you'll never fall.
Eyes of emerald, so bright and unexplained.
I held your little soul. I danced in the hurricane with the God who has no name. I had to run or face the pain. Hold on to love and learn to trust again. Like a tear in a broken frame, a wild heart you'll never take. One constant law remains: if the light goes out, 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 dance again. Hello everybody, it's Toyah here and welcome to Toyah at Home, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm in our beautiful local abbey where we're filming the last video for Posh Pop. We've managed to film 10 videos so far, and today is the last video shoot for what is going to be a video album. So we're here to make the video for a gorgeous song called The Bride Will Return, which we're so excited by. We've got two very beautiful bridesmaids in waiting for the video shoot, and they are Simon Darlow and Robert Fripp. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're very excited, Simon, because this is where Robert and I spent our honeymoon.
I know, it is a very beautiful place to spend a honeymoon. And I think you've got an anniversary, haven't you, coming up?
Yes, our 35th wedding anniversary.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, and we're very, very excited.
And we are, of course, making the video today of The Bride Will Return, which is one of the first songs Simon and I wrote for Posh Pop. And this is a song that came about after the bride of Beirut and her wedding was disturbed by an explosion in a warehouse. And both Simon and I were just so moved by the beauty and the grace of this bride that we went straight into the studio and wrote this song, which we absolutely love. And we're doing the video today.
It's fabulous. It's a great atmosphere to be in. Reminds me of my childhood, which I spent a lot of time in cathedrals, so this is very beautiful, quite moving.
Were you a
right.
choir boy?
I was head chorister of Chichester Cathedral many years ago when I was 13 years old, so I feel like I'm back home in a peculiar way, having hardly been in a church in 40 or 50 years or whatever it is.
That's absolutely incredible. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our first song today is the Toyah Band at the Water Rats in King's Cross. It's a beautiful song that I wrote with Tim Elsenberg, one of my favouriteest songwriters, much younger man than me. And I think he found it quite funny working with a woman who just turned 50, who was just so kind of punky. And we came up with this gorgeous song called Every Scar Has a Silver Lining. Enjoy.
Every scar has a silver lining, every tear a safe landing. All those doubts have no harbor, all the pain is pleasure waiting. Ambush me, I'm safe at last, unleash my greatness, yeah. Strong, I must have made it through, 'cause something's true this time. This time. Every scar is a little picture, every sigh a lost symphony. All those lies are setting free an awesome power inside of me. Ambush me, I'm safe and lost. Unleash my greatness, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, you crushed me, but you made me strong. I must have made it. Wrap it up, wrap it up. Bottle this up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Bottle this up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Bottle this up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Ambush me, I'm safe at last. Wrap it up, wrap it up. Ambush me, I'm safe at last. Wrap it up, wrap it up. Ooh, you crushed me, but you made me strong. I must have made it through, 'cause this feels true to me. To me. To me.
That was the wonderful Toyah band at the Water Rats with the song I wrote with Tim Elsenberg called Every Scar Has a Silver Lining. Now, I wanted to include you on the first question today at Toyah at Home. And I've got Simon Darlow and Robert Fripp with me. One I've been married to for 35 years, and the other I've been writing music with for 42 years.
Yeah.
Which is just incredible. So we were asked this week, what song would we like playing when we enter a room? For example, mine would be Queen's Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, and I think mine would be Boys of Summer by Don Henley, which I had the good fortune to appear with him playing on Top of the Pops in 1985.
That's amazing.
Keyboards it was, actually.
Mr. Fripp, what song would you like?
Probably King Crimson's Red from the album, the Red album from 1974, because it's so powerful and driving and gets you up and going. Yeah.
And what time signature is that in? Can you remember?
Well, it kind of varies, but a lot of people, it kind of hovers around 5.
So would you walk in 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, that's actually in 60. Your up is the
1,
6.
2, 3, 4.
Up.
1, 2,
that's
3,
right.
4.
Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oop.
That's it. And it'll be 35 years tomorrow that you have been my bride.
What did I say?
We've been married for 35 years.
Okay,
well, it's
but
only 35 years tomorrow.
as you can guess, ladies and gentlemen, my husband is a man of precision, which is why when he walks into a room, he will be walking in 5 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oop.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oop.
5.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oop. So his precision has been with us for 34 years and 53 weeks till tomorrow. So
51 weeks and 6 days.
Now you've got me at it.
I didn't pass my maths exam. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to leave the boys here for the rest of Toyah at Home, and we're going to take a break because we're going to go off and shoot The Bride Has Returned.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just, Craig, you've gone too far this time. And I'm back in the room. Between filming The Brides with Robert Fripp and Simon Darlow, I have heard that all gigs are back on for this year. So it's been a manic rush, just thinking, oh my goodness, we really didn't expect to be gigging inside this year. So we've got our September shows in. We're looking at bringing back some November shows. It's absolutely chaotic here, but it's fantastic, and this is really great news. Let's Rock are confident that everything can be back to normal. Isn't this amazing? And this is all just turned on a pinpoint in the last couple of hours. So I've still got your questions to answer, which is lovely. We are going to continue as normal with our broadcasts because we are around. We can do this. We can fit it in. Robert is going to be sending postcards from home when he's in America. And that will be me and him probably on Zoom doing Agony Aunts, but he will be in some glorious place in the States. I am still going to do Toyah at Home because we are planning from the end of June to release songs every week from Posh Pop and the videos, and you will have exclusives on Toyah at Home and Sunday lunches as well. There's a lot going on and there's a lot of planning, and now we've got the live shows back too. This is amazing. And if my life has become like this, hopefully yours has as well. The question about which song would we have liked as we enter each room came from Kathy Grant. So thank you very much for that, Kathy. Dr. Pinagier, when and where did you and Robert meet? Well, Robert and I had the same management for quite a long time before we actually met. I believe I met Robert in 1983 at a Nordoff Robbins music therapy lunch at the Intercontinental Hotel on Park Lane in London. And we were drawn together for a photograph with Princess Michael of Kent. When that photo came out the next day in the Daily Express, Robert was removed from the photo and it was just me and Princess Michael of Kent. Robert asked me 2 years later if I would like to guest on an album he was making called Lady and the Tiger. And this was a charity album to raise money for the children's school at Claymont in Washington. And I said yes. And it was while making that album that Robert proposed to me, and it was very quick. He'd only really known me for a week. It was a very confusing time for me because life was moving very quickly. There were so many aspects to my life, from acting to music, and my personal life, my personal home was changing, and everything was in flux. And I said to Robert, well, this is very romantic, can we get to know each other? And that's the beginning of the story. It was quite phenomenal. It was very romantic, and I spent the next 9 months kind of getting to know Robert in a traditional courting way. And then we got married on Robert's 40th birthday, which is the 16th of May, but this was back in 86, which was just glorious. So thank you very much for that question, Dr. Pinagia. Samuel Mosley, you say you love the song Moonlight Dancing off the album Desire. It's very romantic, and I wondered if you could explain how the song came about. Yes, of course, Samuel. The song came about because I think we're all connected in many ways by moonlight. When we look up to the moon, wherever we are in the world, half the hemisphere is seeing that as well. So the idea of feeling that you're alone is actually not real. We're not alone. We can't possibly be alone. And we share common visions, and one is we see the moon. And the idea of moonlight dancing is you're just sharing that moment with everyone else in the world who can see the moon at the same time. It's a shared experience, and it is a very romantic song. This idea that when you look up at the moon, there's people there you don't know. And this was written before Facebook, before social media, so it makes it even more romantic that the moon is a connection that puts us all together. And that's where the song and how the song came about. It's about the power the moon has with us. And I think there's more to the moon's existence than it just being a rock, a satellite up there circling Earth. There's much more. It influences us. It's part of our history, our culture, all the references throughout history to the moon. It really is quite powerful and ever present. And there you go. I wrote the song as a homage. Fabio, you've asked a fascinating question. You ask, would I share my thoughts about Freddie Mercury? Did I ever meet him? What do I think of his performances and songwriting? This is such a great question because Queen have always been considered great, but I would say during the punk era, mid-70s to late 70s, Queen were almost considered too flamboyant, whereas Bowie always fitted in with punks, and certain rockers, I think even Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, they always kind of fitted in with the punk movement, but Queen were considered just too flamboyant and almost too out there, too operatic, too descriptive for punk. But what I will say is there has always been extreme respect for the writers and the whole band and for the musicianship. And truly, I think most people would agree that it was Live Aid that completely changed the perception of Freddie Mercury and Queen, in that their performance blew away the whole planet. And they'd already been magnificently huge up until that point, and were on the point of breaking up before Live Aid. And suddenly they give this performance that just put them in a new light, this magnificent musicianship and control and mastery of performance that they exhibited during Live Aid in the mid-80s. I think everyone went, oh my goodness, this is showmanship. And it was seeing the showmanship for me that completely changed my attitude towards Queen and Freddie Mercury, and a huge respect. I was on tour with a play called Amadeus, with Richard McCabe and Tim Pigott-Smith, and I was in Aberdeen when the news broke of Freddie Mercury's passing, and there was this awful kind of build-up over the 2 years before Freddie Mercury passed of the tabloid press speculating about Freddie being ill, Freddie having AIDS at a time when AIDS terrified the world. And it can't have been good. It must have been so absolutely terrifying to be dealing with your mortality as well as a disease that people judge socially. And I remember the night it was announced that Freddie had passed was the last night of this very long tour. And we were heartbroken, and we sat up all night discussing it and being in so much shock and terror that AIDS had taken someone so genuinely brilliant and talented who'd given so much to the world. So I still today have utter respect, and I work with Roger Taylor with the SAS band, and he's a glorious, glorious human being and a very wonderful father to Rufus. And I see all this, and I see this generosity of his nature, and I just know that they are still a great band, and Freddie Mercury has left behind the most wonderful legacy within rock for everyone to share to future come. I mean, that music is going to be around forever. So Fabio, thank you so much for that question. It's a lovely question. Mel Miller Younger, what would you have done for a career if you hadn't gone into music and acting? I would have been heartbroken. That's all I can say. I would have lived a heartbroken life. And Mel, you say, would you still encourage people to go into these fields at present day? Oh, there is the revelation, Mel. There is the revelation. If you're to earn a living in the music industry today, you need to have the songs, and preferably you need to write them. You need to be able to perform live, and you need promoters to want to book you into live venues. You need to be able to sell merchandise, because that is where 50% of the income comes from. And you need to be called a sync artist. And what that means is that your music is licensed by films, advertising companies, and TV shows. Once you have those licenses, you are earning what we call a passive income. We now live in a world where the CD and vinyl are part of the extension of live work. They're glorious things to have and to produce and to have out there in record shops where people love to browse if they have a record shop local to them. But the actual income of an artist now is within live work, and streaming, no way. The only people that benefit from streaming are the top 1%, or those who've invested in the streaming platform. People like me, which is the majority of musicians, I probably would earn 2p a month from streaming, even though I'm streamed a lot. Very famous quote from Peter Frampton: why has he only earned 25,000 from something like 75 million hits on YouTube? I mean, the income just isn't there the way it was 40 years ago. But it can be if you manage how creative you are and you write the right songs for people to use in film, movies, TV and advertising, and that will keep you going. Now, you asked Mel, what would I be doing if I wasn't singing and acting? I think if I never had the career I have as a singer and a recording artist, I would always be living with an empty dream in my soul. I would be thinking, what if? Why didn't I? And I'm very glad I took the choice to be in a very difficult and utterly unpredictable career. It shaped me as a person, and I believe it shaped my spirit and my soul. So I'm content with that. But if I wasn't singing and acting, I would be an artist. I love sculpture. I love working with my hands. I would love to develop my painting technique. I still really want to develop what I call naive art and bring that Toyah into that, rather than just being purely inspired by Maud Lewis and other traditional folklore art. I would love to develop Toyah within the naive, and I can still do that, and I will do that as my life progresses. But I'm very glad that I am a respected actress, and Give Them Wings is winning critical acclaim for me. Recently, I had a review that said it's a performance career best, and the film is winning awards. All we need to do now is get it out there so an audience can actually see it, which is another very strange kind of clash of interests that you get within music and within film, that you can make something utterly brilliant, but you need to fight to get it to an audience. And I enjoy that challenge, and I enjoy helping people with those challenges. But I think I would be in a solitary world as an artist, creating the images I see in my mind and developing my colour technique. And I look forward to doing that when I no longer sing. And I've started to make plans for that. I'm looking for a very large studio space in which I can be a creative artist with my hands. And I think in about 4 or 5 years that might start, and I'm very excited by that. Also, Mel, I've always wanted to be a chocolatier. I love the thought of trade fair cocoa beans, bringing them into the world, creating chocolate art, being surrounded by that kind of glowing consistency of liquid chocolate, and making sculptures and stuff like that. Who knows? It might happen. I would need to do a lot of training though before I even dip my toe into the melted chocolate pool. So thank you everyone for your questions today. And we are running up to the re-release of Blue Meaning. And I think I showed you last week the beautiful vinyl. I mean, it's just breathtaking. So next week's Toyah at Home is a Blue Meaning special, with unseen footage, with footage unearthed, footage not seen for a long time. It's a real walk down memory lane. So that is for May the 22nd, and I'm so excited. There's so much music on it. You've got a spacewalking montage, Ghosts acoustic, IER, Dutch TV performance, Mummy's video. It's just got absolutely everything Blue Meaning on it. So please tune in. And to run up to this, we are going to go out with IER and the Toyah Band at the Water Rats in King's Cross. I'll see you tonight for Agony Aunts, and tomorrow's Sunday lunch. It kind of encapsulates a lot of genres. Let me put it that way. Lots of love from Toyah.
So you're the perfect sphere. You're a star on the beast, the shiny beast. Me, the beast, Messiah. I am so loose. meet me. Meet me. Fear the beast. My medals are shining, the southern screams. Fear the beast. 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 Can you hear me? Oh, I'm calling you, Messiah. I am Sola, Messiah. Shanti, Zion, Zilberon, the Necronomicon. Zion, Zilberon, Necronomicon. Messiah, I am Sola.